Hello world, my name is Sima and I'm continuing the narrative of my journey in prison. So, after temporary detention center, the algorithm is as follows. The inmate is taken to the court where the judge decides what preventive measure to impose. It could be house arrest or travel restriction or pretrial detention center. To safeguard the investigation, they mostly opt for pretrial detention. And as for duration, I had 3 months, after which you go to court again for an extension of the preventive measure. And I had four such extensions during my time in pretrial detention. And to give you an idea, the more lenient alternatives to pretrial detention, like house arrest or travel restriction, are usually granted to either very wealthy individuals who manipulated the system or high profile cases involving politicians or celebrities. I mean, you can have a real huge amount of money, but if you haven't got connections in this justice system, you won't go from pretrial detention to any lighter measure. And every time I went for an extension in my petition, I would request a change from pretrial detention to a milder measure, and I would indicate an amount I was willing to offer as bail, and it most it almost became comical because we'd put I and my lawyer we'd put down astronomical sums, which of course we didn't have. But money doesn't matter if you lack connections. It's absolutely irrelevant how much you are willing to offer, because if you don't have a corrupt judge or prosecutor in your pocket, they won't release you from pretrial detention for any amount. And after the trial, I was sent to a pretrial detention center. In Russian, it's called SIZO, and it was pretrial detention number 6, the only women's pretrial detention center in Moscow. Can you imagine? Only one for all women who had committed some crimes. And in colloquial speech, it's also known as 3 6s, as the number of devil. This building was constructed in 1987 for a women medical labor rehabilitation center. In the Soviet Union and some post-Soviet countries, such institutions were intended for those who were court-ordered to undergo mandatory treatment for drug addiction and alcoholism. In fact, this place of restricted freedom, where the main method of treatment was forced labor for the patient. So, at the same time, this staying in this institution wasn't considered to a prison sentence and allowed for the temporary isolation of alcoholics and drunken violators of public order without sending them to correctional institution like penal colony. And this is a wonderful solution, because addiction is an illness, and why have they put a person to the prison if he is ill? Like, why shatter a person's life with a prison sentence when on the first occasion you could attempt to treat them? Because unfortunately, in Russian prisons for murder, less sentence than for drugs. But they decided to make a prison in this institution, and the prison has been in operation since 1996. So, upon arrival, everyone is locked up in a cell called assembly. So this cell assembly is in every pretrial detention, where when you come to this pretrial detention, you are waiting for the search, or if you leave, you're waiting there for being taken, with whom you are going to live. I mean, they are transported to their destination, like going to court or for investigative measure or for an extension of the preventive measure, or to the stage that is the colony. And upon their return, they are waiting to be searched in the cell, and this cell, about 24 square meters, with excessively high ceilings, and it was like a temporary detention center. There were toilet and sink in the corner, and it's disgusting smell because no one. I think they clean it, but maybe once a month, and it's really disgusting smell. So there were two assemblies where one assembly for non-smokers and another for smokers. But in this pretrial detention, not only girls were there were some cells with bsniks. So bsnik, he is a former employee of internal organs as well as judiciary. I mean, they were working for justice system. Any lawyers, wherever, any workers, they men. I mean, they can't sit with another man. Simple people, yeah, who had normal job. They sitting with bsniks, only with bsniks, and present two adjacent cells are assigned to smokers and non-smokers, but if there are at least one bsnik waiting to leave or to be searched, you have to drown in smoke because he will be alone, and all girls, women will be in one cell, assembly. And with me was on that time when I just came, there wasn't no any girls, just me and a girl named Alexandra. She was younger than me, about 19-20 years old, and she had been in SIZO for over a year at that time, and she told me that I would be now assigned to a quarantine. So quarantine is not a common cell. Quarantine where you wait for they will take your blood, they will see what health you have, yeah, and they will give you an idea where you came to. So I always remember Alexandra with kind words because she warned me that everyone in each cell, even in quarantine, would try to find out the details of my case, to tell the administration of this institution any news which they took from others inmates. And these duplicators people think that by doing so they will help their own case, which is naturally a big lie. And we called them snitches because they're like, they snitch and no one want to speak with them. But then I understood that most of people there are snitches, but you have to communicate with them, and that's why you just filter information which you are telling to everyone, and that's really that helps you so much if you can keep silence. And so I found her then, and thanks to Alexander that she warned me about this. So after I was waiting for search, or in Russian we call it shmon. So during the initial inspection, a person's profile is created and documenting birthmarks, scars, and other distinguished features. And to me, it is the most degrading procedure reflecting their attitudes towards you, because the first thing upon entering the pretrial detention center is being stripped down and made to sit multiple times, squatting several times, and because they are searching the prohibited items like phones, components, lighters, even chewing gum, because they think that you can make a bomb from chewing gum. Okay, whatever. And everything is searched. And that time I had a longer hair, and even in my hair they wanted to find some prohibited items. So it's like a marasm. And later, a scanner, similar at airport security, that scanner was installed in this pretrial detention center, and this procedure became unnecessary. But let's not forget that all this happened in Moscow, and in other cities such degrading procedure and humiliating procedure is still in use, and it's a real it's like it's the first things which morally breaks you, because they they administration, their attitude towards you is like you're a ghost. Like, I was asking questions because I was afraid. I was asking so many questions, and this guard, he was like, he was like searching a ghost, and he didn't answer anything. He was just asking me the questions, which were like, what scars you have, tattoos you have, and uh, you're naked, you're all like, you're so uh, you're so lost in this place, you're naked, and it was November, it was so cold. And after they searched me and made the card, you proceed to the medical office, so on the same floor, and where blood tests, they take blood tests, and height, weight, and whatever, they just asking you if you have any diseases, and fulfill the card, and finally the dreaded shower awaits, a room that diminishes and desire to clean due to its moldy, like dirty and full smelling conditions. And they say like, you have to take shower. So I even couldn't get to the shower because it's so dirty, and I was just I opened the water, and I didn't take the shower because I thought that I'll become more dirty after the shower. And I said that I'm okay. I already took a shower, and then you're giving a basic items, an aluminum cup, the same aluminum spoon, mattresses, pillow, and blanket. And then you wait as others go through these degrading intake steps, and finally the institution staff leads everyone to the quarantine cell. And I was so afraid, because now, like, in temporary detention center, they see that, like, they see that you are not homeless, you looks normal, and attitude towards you was normal. But in pretrial detention center, they already doing everything to break you morally. And stay tuned for my new video about my 2 weeks in quarantine. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for your subscriptions. See ya. Bye.